we're going to end with a 1.5 odd point change on the Nifty. The banks, by the way, did a little better. The Bank Nifty will come up on your screen, and that was definitely better than the Nifty. Broader markets, mid caps and small caps ending lower, and the pressure there was pronounced, 0.5%, 0.75% on those indices. You want to look at the large cap Nifty gainers. As I said, mostly banks. So Kotak and HDFC Bank stood out. There was Coal India, which was higher. In terms of losses, the Adani names, enterprises and ports, both were lower. Apollo Hospitals saw some pressure, and we had Tata Steel, which was under pressure as well. But in the broader space as well, Rima, more declines and advances today.
Indeed. So the mid-cap index goes home with a cut of about 0.7%. The advanced decline ratio 2:3. Talking about the winners, let me start with the companies which debuted on the exchanges today. So Global Health, the owner of Medanta, up 23%, and Bikaji, a bit pricey at about 60-65 times forward valuation. That stock ends with a modest gain of about 5.5%. HAL, big mover there. The company has raised the EBITDA margin guidance to 26 to 27% versus its earlier guidance of 24 to 25% in terms of EBITDA margins for FY23 to FY24. So HAL is a big mover. The gains continue for the likes of IRFC. IRFC is up 7.5% today, taking its month-to-date rally to close to about 20-odd%. RVNL. So across the board, these rail PSUs are higher. Defense stocks like Mazgaon Dock also surging in trade. A couple of banks like Karnataka Bank, South Indian Bank go home with gains of about 3.5%. On the losing side, Apollo Tyres, big bout of profit booking, stock down 7%. Nomura today downgraded the stock. Nykaa under pressure for the second day in a row, 4.5%. Bonus shares got credited, so perhaps a bit of a supply impact there. Nigel?
Well, you look at the headline index and you'll say it was a quiet day, but you look at the broader markets and stocks were doing their own thing, particularly some of those mid-cap stocks and smaller cap stocks. Some of them did very well. Atul Auto, you had that fund infusion coming in from Mr. Kedia. The stock was up close to around 10% in trade today. HCC, that debt recast, I think, is taking shape. That one was up close to around 10%. Kirloskar Oil, the numbers look quite good. On the con call, the management sounded quite optimistic. That one as well was up close to around 10%. Finolex Industries, from the recent peak, it did see quite a sharp correction, but today it was flying away. That stock did pretty well. Cosmo First, remember, it's half of what it was at its peak, but the street seems to be giving it another chance, so that stock as well was higher. In reaction to its con call, you had Parmec. Well, that stock as well was up close to around 8%. So these are a few of those big gainers that we saw in trade today. Add to the list a couple of other names. Lotus Eye, well, that stock was doing pretty well. You had Home First Finance, well, that stock, in fact, did do well, was up 7.5%. And remember, some of these moves coming on very large volumes in trade. So yes, the mid-cap index was under pressure, but a few of these names, well, they went one way, that was up. Metropolis, because of those tax concerns, well, that stock was under some pressure. Steel Strips was down close to around 6% in trade. You had a couple of other names like PC Jewelers as well, did see some selling pressure in today's session. So to sum things up, the headline index was more or less quietish. The mid-cap index was a relative underperformer, while the Nifty Bank, that's the one that's having the dream run, and that continued today. While the Nifty ended flattish, the Nifty Bank went home with a century.